Hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. We are on to 1973. And I'm a little tilted today. I should have just kept streaming yesterday or day before, whenever it was, when I was in a really good mood about this. It's okay. I'm frustrated by mechanics. And I'm just gonna have to live with that. 1973... I don't think that 73 unlocks any new text for us. Nope. Nope. So I want to double check that assertion before I... Oop, there we go. Can probably improve our APCs while we're at it. Oh shit, I didn't even check on this. Alright, the act pass, it's good. Direct mail flyers, warrant of higher taxes, radio plays, mock interviews with stoner college kids, television advertisements show images, rioting students. All this and more have ensured the Higher Education Act of one of the most controversial proposals that the Harrington administration has put before Congress. It's a tough tightrope to walk for many legislators. Everyone wants the grateful constituents' testimonials, proud of their first and family college kids, but nobody wants to deal with the potential culture war that's being brewed up. MPP whips have been doing their best, but at this point, it's anybody's game. Well, that's okay. So, fatigue is a problem. Fatigue is very much a problem right now. So, there's one here for 150. This decreases fatigue a little bit. I'm just gonna buy that. Then I just save up to click this again once it's available. Yeah, I guess so. Because people are furious. Yeah, right now. Fatigue is notable. And I want to get rid of that because that has very bad effects when those annual events tick. Okay, do we do affirmative action? This isn't gonna go over well. I already know it's not gonna go over well. Like, this is highly polarizing. And it needs to get done. I want it to get done, but I want to... Let's try build the safety net. We must make sure every American is protected, and we certainly cannot throw those who either cannot work or simply between jobs under the bus. We need to create some kind of safety net for Americans who need it. There are those in America who cannot afford a job. The price of gas, a nice outfit, childcare, team-building exercises, the prices rack up, and soon people can't break out of the cycle of poverty. President Harrington says, no more. Through a system of unemployment benefits, Americans will have basic means to survive while finding work. Social Security Act has been introduced. Let's take a look at it. No. 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 Oh my god. Don't show me diplomatic arena. Don't show me CIA options. Don't show me the political landscape. Show me the event? The thing we're voting on? Please? Oh, okay, when this is done, it'll finish. Cracks form, sinking feeling within the Missourian president. Okay, yeah, it's another fucking event. I'm not reading all of that. I'm not, dude, it's too much. It's too much. It's way too fucking much. I get it, but at the same time, you can, all of the dialogue back and forth, cut it. I don't give a shit about this person talking to that person. Tell me about the effects of the policies. Make this so I can play through faster than a slow pace. Visible and indivisible. Something just fired. Mucho texto. Harrington inaugurated for a second term. Yeah, there's too much goddamn text in this mod. I was for the longest time trying to be patient with it, trying to work with it, trying to, like, you know what, we'll give this a go. You know what, no, we won't. No, we won't. I'm gonna be impatient about it now. Because I put many hours into this campaign. Many hours, and so much of it is just reading. I'm gonna skim through, we're gonna get brief notes, and then we're gonna move on. I'm not here to read someone's fanfic. I'm sorry. Alright, White House and everyone will decline. This will piss everyone off. Let's pushing the businesses. Some American businesses haven't been too happy about the new push towards better working conditions. Talk about profit margins. Atlas shrugged and Atlas shrugged in bureaucracy. Simple fact that the matter is they'll continue to grumble and argue for the foreseeable future. We must apply pressure to make sure all of America's workers are getting the solid deal that we promise them. Okay, so I probably... Yeah, I need to be saving this political power, and probably shouldn't have used the political power I had before to push this. Right now, we can get some of the far right and the Republicans. Will that be enough? You know what? Maybe. Let's get the far right. Probably get like 9 of them. How many Senate votes to pass a bill? 51. Okay, 51. So long as these numbers are adding up to 51, we're good. What is this? 21, 31, 36. It's not good math. That's all right. We'll work on it. None of them are supporting the bill. That said plenty of room, right? Oh, fuck you. Nope, absolutely fuck you, game. Absolutely fuck you. I clicked a button to... Maybe this said no room. I'm just giving myself the political power back. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not fucking with that. Let's get Republicans on board. Nope. 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 It's frustrating when there are just walls of text surrounding things, and then the important things are like one word here. Not these massive paragraphs. It's just single words that indicate if something's a good idea or a bad idea. Well, I knew a simple majority is necessary in Congress, or for the Senate to pass. I didn't know what number that is, because it's not practical knowledge. That does not help me. I'm not in the Senate, right? I don't have any direct hand in pushing through stuff in the Senate. The only senator I, in theory, have any sway over is my senator. The Congress and Senate are fucking stupid. Congress makes sense. Congress is based upon population. The Senate is fucking stupid. Oh yeah, let's just arbitrarily give out a number. No. It's a dumb system. It's a very dumb system. We have the technological capability to just do things based on plurality votes, to in annual elections have people vote on policies, to elect people based on percentage of population rather than first past the post elections. And yeah, there's so much about the American electoral system to hate. So much. Amend the Fair Labor, paying for it all. Paying their fair share. I mean, this is gonna piss people off. I have to do all of these anyway. Sure, amend the Fair Labor Standards Act. Though the FLSA passed back in the late 30s, it was a near thing. In order to pass a bill, it had to be cut down. While it's a good baseline, simply doesn't go far enough to help American workers. Must go back in and use any spare political capital to amend the FLSA to give us real assistance to the working man. Yeah, we have shithead states and a corrupt-ass political system. It's not just that the states are shitty, it's that the senators are shitty. Democrat, Republican, they're all absolute garbage people. With rare exceptions, with rare notable exceptions, but by and large, they're all horrible human beings. Corrupt to the bone. And disconnected from the populace by a significant margin. They're not of our class, and they do not act in our class interest. Oh god, okay, I could potentially win support for the bill here, which is the smart move to do. At this point, I have to work with the Republicans, and I have to work with the Democrats. What are we at now? 24, 34, 43, 45? Yep, have to talk with the Democrats. Now I have to get 6 more votes out of this, or this just doesn't pass. Or I have to negotiate with the 2 Social Democrats who aren't voting on this for some dipshit reason. It's a late night to be working at the... Oh my god. Basically, do you want to compromise, or do you want to go hard on this? Support will increase. Economic Equality Act will be in order to safeguard the well-being of the American worker. I can't... It has to get passed. Unfortunately, I just have to take the it has to get passed option. There's no other way about this. Paying their fair share. In America and the world's... In fact, the world, most of the wealth is tied up in the bank accounts of super wealthy people with sheer wealth. They can never realistically spend it all rather than wait for all this wealth to trickle down, which it doesn't do. Which would be downright absurd. We take proactive action, securing funding for our welfare programs, and making the super rich pay what they owe. I won 1 fucking Democrat over with that. That's 25, 35, plus 9, 44. This can't pass. This just can't pass. Nothing can pass with the far right. Okay. Alright. I think I may be done with this mod, because I have a lame duck presidency right now, and there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I can do about it is wait until the next Senate election. And just build up political power until then. I guess, yeah, maybe that's what we have to do. It's like, I get that it's interesting narratively, and then it's a real thing that happens, but holy shit is it frustrating to play through. It's really irritating because given the election mechanics for the last like 3 election cycles, again and again and again, it's like, oh, the MPP center has a strong lead in all of these states, and then I lose, and then I lose, and then I lose. Like, if the UI lined up with the mechanics, we'd be doing fine. But because the UI just fucking lies, we're dealing with some electoral horseshit. And yeah, I mean, it's worth mentioning that, to be fair, I have been taking a hard line on a lot of these policies, but it's still fucking stupid. And I'm not backing down from that. It's really fucking stupid. All right, we're all the boats are done. I guess we go after 75 tech. Yeah, because like, what the fuck else do we do? It's all industry tech. I guess? No, 74. Here we go. This is only a year ahead of time. Let's get better guns, I suppose. Support for the bill increases with Republicans. Democrats decrease. Yeah, interesting. I was hoping that pushing all through universal healthcare with LBJ would make it so that I wouldn't have to revisit the issue, but it looks like the game does not work that way. The focus trees do not get pre-cleared. Wow, okay, this will make the, this is actually voting on it, so we're still just arguing about it. All right, how much to raise taxes? Americans are fundamentally good, friendly people. They like helping people, especially their fellow countrymen. Flip side of that coin, however, is Americans are not very fond of taxes. It's a delicate balancing act. New programs are generally supported, but new taxes are reviled. However, with experts in the Harrington administration, we can surely walk that line so that less fortunate Americans are protected. The quiet grumbles and more fortunate Americans stay quiet. I mean, to be fair, Harrington's gotten a lot done in his administration. A lot done in his administration. It's another high exhaustion event. That's God damn it, that's frustrating. Our exhaustion is only notable, and these are firing off over and over and over and over and over. Notable is not a number. Is notable 5? Is it 20? Is it 15? Like, this is frustrating. Notable fatigue. And then if I go to something that decreases fatigue, fatigue is expressed in terms of numbers. Like, oh my god, none of these decrease fatigue. Fatigue will decrease by 10. Okay. Is 10 good? Is 10 bad? What is 10? Is 10 like a little? Is 10 a lot? Because in here, when something will... Yeah, this will increase public fatigue. It won't say by 1, by 5. There's a lot of frustrating intersections between gameplay mechanics and UI, user interface and user experience here in this mod that's like, hey, this does a thing. Oh, neat. How much does it do? It does a thing. Oh, okay. Then I run into the same mechanic later. I'm like, does this do much? Wait. No, that doesn't do anything. Like, how can I tell if this is effective or ineffective at all? Improve relations with the middle class. Support for the bill will decrease everyone. Yep. Okay, guess we have to say we can't do that. Trying to win back the middle class here. Pay for it all. Yeah, no. More likely I'll crack open their dipshit mod and just add in the localization files values that are numbers instead of some or a lot. Like, I don't like the ambiguity. I really don't like the ambiguity. If it's constant ambiguity, that's fine. But intermittent ambiguity is an incredibly unfriendly user experience. Okay, banger main, it's a student. They're doing well because of the thing we did. Haha, it's gratifying. Getting to see our work paying off. Great. It doesn't matter, because I'm fairly sure this bill can't pass. No, wait, I have 52 votes right now, with the Republicans and us. And one from the far right. Weird, okay. So I am winning them over somehow. It will pass, but by a 2-vote margin. Like, this shit is frustrating. Will increase the influence of the rich. By how much? With relation to who? Doesn't fucking say. But I'm just doing stuff to try to offset. Oh, now it's small. Now it's notable. What? Just give me a goddamn number. TNO, man, it's a mixed bag. There's some really interesting stuff that they do, but the ambiguity of the mechanics makes me want to gouge my fucking eyes out. Oh, okay. I'm not reading this. It's too much text. It's too much text. I'm at 1973. I've been playing this for a decade, and if you want to talk about how many fucking hours I put in because of how much text there is, reading the text aloud takes so long. Let's go to videos. No, I can't look at duration here. Hold up. Let's go to YouTube. No, I haven't been uploading these. Each of these has been on average about an hour and a half, right? No, and of course I immediately close it. And an hour and a half for 10 years. That's over 10 fucking hours. It's too much. It's probably closer to like 12 or 14 I've spent on this one campaign. And at this point, I'm cutting my losses. I'm speed reading the text or skimming it and just moving on. The immersion is cool. The setting is cool. You've gotta cut down on the flavor text, and for the love of God, make the mechanics less frustrating. Just assign numbers to things rather than the word small or large, or consistently use small or large. It's a oh god damn it, what is it? Continuity of form. Yeah, I haven't looked at Burgundy. I played as Germany offline yesterday, and man, really did not enjoy it, to be honest. I won a Speer and got to like 1970 and was just like, this is very painful. This mod is uncomfortable to play. It's uncomfortable because of the themes, right? But also because of the kind of philosophy they have towards player agency, in that your agency is really limited by randomized roles and randomized mechanics, that you can kind of vaguely guide how you want things to go, but if the mechanics and events will go along with you is a completely different question. It'd be one thing if it were like a tabletop role-playing game where the roles are determined by other factors, but they're not. They're just like random 50 or 25, 75% rolls, and many states in which a military is a major employer, should our influence in them lacking, we risk our more conservative voters defecting to the Democrats, increase public fatigue, or yeah, cut the defense budget. Is it gonna lose us this? Who fucking knows? Nope. Alright, nope, hasn't lost us any votes. Fuck the defense budget. Drop a budget. Yeah, well, not everything goes your way in life. Yeah, but this isn't life. This is a fucking game. And in real life, and I talked about this earlier, in real life, you don't know the exact number to a 1 of the people you could put a gun into their arms and march them off overseas to die. You don't know the exact number of small arms that your nation can produce on a given day. You have approximations for these things. But in Paradox titles, you have specific numbers. You have specific values. And it's okay, right, if the mechanic, when it's an election, and a state says that your candidate has a strong lead, if strong had a number after it, saying 75% or 60%, that'd be fine. But what the mechanics do, yeah, give me the fucking data. It's basically where I'm at, because that's how I make informed decisions. That's how people make informed decisions, is data and context. And in reality, we have, lived context, situational context for if you have control over a situation or how likely or unlikely something is to happen. Like, even if it's flipping a coin, even if it's something that's seemingly random, like the way that water will drip down glass surface, something like that. You can approximate it, you can guess it. But when the mechanics just say some, or a lot, or strong, or weak, those terms have no defined meaning. And so what the mod authors are communicating to the player is not clear. Strong is ambiguous. Is strong 100%? When I first started playing the mod, I thought a strong lead means guaranteed win. It doesn't. Strong lead means a 66% chance of winning. Nowhere is that explained to the player unless you crack open the code. How can you expect to know the exact number of people that are going to vote for something? You can't, but this is a game. This isn't a political simulation. This is a game. If I can know the exact percentage of my population that follows certain ideologies, if I can know the exact number of people living in certain areas, if I can know to a T that certain decisions will make people 10% more liberal, 10% more conservative, then I can know absolutely, given the expectation here. The expectation is if I can know all this other stuff exactly, I should be able to know this. It's about a It's about logical consistency and design consistency and narrative consistency within a game. What this mod does is it disrupts the logical narrative consistency of the product, of the artwork, and creates dissonance. What I'm expressing is dissonance. It's dissonance in the portrayal, it's a dissonance in the mechanics, it's a dissonance in the representation and explanation of those mechanics and the intersection between them. It's bad game design. It's very bad game design. I want to reiterate, I'm okay and I even enjoy models that are entirely ambiguous or entirely abstracted, that don't give you hard numbers. I love games like that if the entire game is like that. What I don't like, and what I'm pissed off at this point, is the intermixing between hard numbers and abstracts. Pick one and do it. Don't do both. If you're doing both, I want to fucking punch you. No, that's an exaggeration. I don't want to do harm to you, but I do want to put your game down. But the narrative is interesting, and the setting is interesting, and like the core mechanics are interesting enough that I'm suffering through it, but it does feel like suffering through it. This tries to follow real life as much as possible. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. TNO makes a lot of exaggerations and approximations and really draws things out to a T. If this quote tries to follow his real life as much as possible, the NPP is a fucking joke. The NPP would never happen in reality. You will never have any self-respecting socialist or social democrat standing side by side with a fucking fascist. Never. This game is a fantasy. This narrative is a fantasy. It's a liberal fantasy. It's a liberal centrist fantasy about what the world could be, and they take themselves seriously thinking that this is hard reality, but no, this is hilariously fantastic. You want to talk about fantasy? I mean, shit, you want to talk about fantasy over here. The concept that the German Reich could ever beat the Soviet Union, that's a fantasy. Yeah, it's okay that it's a fantasy. It's okay that it's a fantastic mod. Kaiserreich is a fucking laugh, and it's totally unrealistic, but it owns it. This doesn't. It takes itself too seriously. This is like a poli-sci major. Yeah, I like simulations. This isn't a simulation. Let me be clear about what I mean here. A simulation would take into respect, it's like Victoria 2. The way that Pops vote in Victoria 2 is a simulation. What are my lived conditions like? What's my material condition? Do I need financial help from the government? Am I poor? Would I benefit from this? If yes, I will vote for it, or I will vote for people who will vote for it, right? That's a simulation. It's not a very complicated one, but that's a simulation. It starts with the groundwork, the basis of the democracy, the individual. It takes into account the things that might influence, or most popularly and most often influence their vote, like their religion, their cultural values, their material conditions. It then amalgamates those, takes those all into consideration, balances those against potential options, who are the electable individuals, the electable parties that they can vote for, and then they vote based off of their values and based off of their conditions, just like real people. In this game, there are no pops. In this game, states vote based off of magic. It's not explained how they're voting. You're not shown beyond this complete horseshit how support is high. What does that mean? Like, they just support the party? Why do they support the party? Are they ideologically in line with the party, or are they materially advantaged by the party? How is favor retained? It's not explained. How is support maintained or reinforced? Not explained. It's bad design. It's really bad design. This isn't realistic in any way. And when you look at the way that people vote, and God, I don't even know where this is, so give me a minute. When you look at the way that people vote, I'm absolutely certain that it's based on a die roll. It's just a percentile roll if they vote one way or another. It's not realistic at all. People don't imagine the elections in the United States if when you go to elect, you don't get to vote on a candidate. You click a random number generator, and based on a number between 1 and 100, it picks a candidate for you that you voted for. That's what this mod does. Now, it lets you weigh the outcome and choose between 5 different sets of random numbers. You can have weak support against, weak support for, strong support against, or toss up. So we can roll on 5 different tables, but it's still completely random. And it's not even like D&D or a good role-playing tabletop role-playing game, or a good tabletop game or board game, because those often weight the rolls based on your attributes or based on your material conditions, your characteristics. Are you strong? Are you fast? Have you specialized in this? Or do the people need X, Y, or Z? That'll add a +1 or a +3 or a -1 or a -3 or +10 or whatever. It influences the factors, right? It influences the outcome. This doesn't. This isn't realistic. It's interesting, but it's bad. It's unrealistic to its core. I'm not saying you can't have fun with it. You can have fun with it, and at times I have had fun with it. But right now, I am actively not having fun with it. Right now, I'm just actively frustrated by it. Because the design is poopy. That's road to 56. Okay, which is this? Nope, nope, not you. That's Fear Kaiserreich. All right, how about you? Kaiserreich. That's another music file? Who dis? Oh, World Blues. Okay, tno.dev. Yeah, thank you. All right, so let's look at TNO. Let's look at how this works, because the game's not explaining to me. I put in over 14 hours, or 12 hours at least, in this campaign, and have had at no point this mechanic explained to me in any useful way. I've tried to learn by playing with the mechanic, but I put in over 10 goddamn hours. This owes it to me at this point. So events. TNO America, probably America, right? Not election? Yeah, let's go with America. It's probably not an event, right? It's probably... No, they would have coded it as an event. Absolutely, it's an event. TNO America. CIA does Middle East things. So here, Star Trek. Joined South Africa War. Oh my god. Election. Set popularities. Hidden effect. Oh my god. Can I have elections in state? Check variable, multiply temp variable by popularity bonus. Temp variable else. Okay, hold up. This looks like it might be what I'm looking for. Civil rights getting passed. This is an example of what I'm looking for. Sure, every own state, Democrats are weaker, Republicans have to make up. Why are you putting in that comma? Okay, so you temporary variable of the popularity bonus. Add that to the variable bonus of the popularity of the party. And then do what with it? No, this is just changing popularity. If player politics equal libtard set... Okay. Civil rights veto? Nope. Okay. President... God damn it. Presidential election. It might not even be in here. Nope. Prep conclusion events. Hold class 2 elections, prep for class 2 elections, hold class, what does this do? Triggered only, custom effect, U.S. Senate elections. Okay, you know what? Following open documents. Can't have elections in state, can't have elections in state. Calculate for Can't have elections, can't have elections. Oh my god. Yep. None of these are what I'm looking for. Okay. So it's not in TNO America. God, that'd be nice if it were. Oh my god, that'd be nice if it were. So it's not in TNO elections. Is it in TNO? Nope. Okay, that really doesn't help at all. You'd think it'd be in TNO America. Common? I have no idea how this works. I have no fucking idea how it works, and I don't honestly want to keep digging through here. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. No, I'm done caring. If it's so obfuscated from the player that I have to dig around in the code to try to figure out what lines they added and how the logic works, then it's a bad fucking system. And if it works illogically, it's a bad system. Now, I'm sure there's an underlying machine logic to it. There's an underlying code logic to it, but that code logic is not conveyed to me, so I can't play with it. Yeah. Yep. It's fine, it's okay, I wouldn't call it good. It's a good groundwork, but like the UX in this mod sucks. Capital fights over breakthrough welfare bill, but it passed. You'll love to see it. Okay, did we go for food stamps or do we go for... God, food stamps are probably more likely to pass. Yep, alright, food stamps. And we'll somehow try to garner some fucking support that I know won't happen. Convince the middle class. Nope, help the middle class. Reduce the influence of the bourgeois. I really feel like this hasn't been play tested well when it comes to political points. The amount that you get versus the amount that you need, and how weak these decisions are, how non-impactful these decisions are. There's some seriously rebalancing that needs to happen. Oh my god, fuck these events. There's too many moving parts. I need to use popularity points to, political power to balance the fickleness of the population, but also when there's an election, or when there's actually something being voted on, I have to use political points to make sure that the elected individuals vote the way that I need them to. Why even bother? Like, one or the other. You know, it's a very fair criticism that, Alex, you're just upset because this isn't doing what you want it to do. Yes, but it's also because of the reasons that I'm explaining why it's frustrating that it's not doing what I want it to do. If it were just not doing what I want it to do because I weren't engaging with the mechanics in a way that was optimal, that's fine. That's good. That's an opportunity to learn. This is not providing me with an opportunity to learn, or an opportunity to grow, or an opportunity to engage with these mechanics and walk away with some new understanding or appreciation. What this says about the world, and all art, if it is self-aware art or not, says something about the world. What this says about politics is that it's all random. It's all up to chance, and you can't have any control over it. And that's such a cynical, liberal, modern, centrist attitude to have. Politics are real. Politics are numerable. Politics are controllable. The outcomes of elections are not just random. The reason that they seem random are the polling numbers are disconnected from people's lives. That the polls and the methodology of the polls is not accurate or apt. It's bad. We're losing political power per day now. Now, can find a compromise. Support will increase. Yeah, fuck the far right. They'd never vote for it anyway. Like, you can figure out how people are gonna vote very easily. Do they feel like they're vote? Oh my god. Fuck you. Why is this happening? It's notable, but it's not bad, right? I don't know what notable means. Does notable mean that I'm gonna be hit with bad events? Doesn't say that. And it's not red text, it's yellow text. Like, they're doing such a bad job in the user experience and user interface side of this mod. Like, they really don't have any designers or good designers on their team. Now, they have some amazing coders. They have some amazing engineers. They've done some incredible code work. Absolutely. But not UX. The UX here sucks. The UX here fucking blows. I can do a much better job than this, or at least could advise people how to do a better job than this. And, you know, it's fair if you want to take the platform that, well, you know, you have differing design philosophies. Yeah, sure. But you're still not communicating your design philosophy to the player. You're not communicating the effect of the mechanics to the player. You're not making the mechanics easy to understand for the player. They are intentionally or negligently obfuscated, vague, ambiguous, and frustrating to interact with. That's not fun. It's not fun for me. It can't be fun for you. Hungry need options. No support comes no change, sadly. We need support from Republicans and Democrats. I can't... What's frustrating about this is I don't know if I need it right now looking at the bill. Oh, yeah, I do. We have 52% of the vote. Right now, when we go back, this will decrease. So if I just don't piss anyone off, this should be fine. Yeah. We have the Republicans, we have the Social Democrats. So long as I don't make this any more radical, this will pass. It's aggravating that it's locked in the focus tree because, dude, it is a shitty feeling to try and pass something and the game just be like, it failed. Here's a bad result. Okay. Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm playing in trying to fight against or compete against the Republican Democrats or trying to balance things. So often in the election cycles, it feels like I'm fighting the game mechanics to try to push things in the direction that I want them to go with no understanding of what the fuck I'm doing. That's not satisfying at all. Bill passes, great. Let's do another one. I'm not even reading these at this point. This is the point I'm at. Occupation of San Marcos Square. Venetians. Hell yeah. I did open this series with the caveat that I'm not sure if this is good or not. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this or not, but it's interesting and I want to play with it. And that is what I'm doing. I'm playing with it, and I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, fuck this. This is just... like, intentionally obscured. And intentionally obfuscated in its mechanics. But it's inconsistent in doing that. I can admire and respect if it's consistent. What I can't respect is inconsistency. That's sloppy work. You want continuity of form and continuity of language, continuity of... yeah, form is the word. in art, in games, in museums, in anything that's public facing. In design and advertising, you want consistent messaging. You want consistent language, consistent messaging, consistent means of messaging, and means of conveying language. And this is not consistent. This is very inconsistent. It is sporadic and oh, goddamn, it's frustrating. Oh, if you can do better, Alex, why don't you? I don't like the theme of this mod, to be honest. I don't like the what if Germany won the Second World War as a premise. I don't like the fact that a probably non-insubstantial percentage of the player base of this and of Hearts of Iron are closet Nazis or just straight up alt-right. I don't like that it affords those people the ability and the circumstance to live out that fantasy. I don't like the creation of new media representing a fascist wet dream of a fucking SS state that you can hop in and play, or be able to make sure that the Civil Rights Act never passes, things like that. No, abso-fucking-lutely not. A lot of the themes and things that this mod explores and touches on are fucking sensitive. They're sensitive, delicate topics that demand a deft touch and an intelligent approach. And what I've seen demonstrated through this mod is clumsiness. Continued clumsiness and the kind of arrogant attitude that I would come to expect from undergraduate history students or poli-sci majors or philosophy majors. Not graduate level, not real professionals, not people who actually know what they're talking about or have any sort of sensitivity training, but people who are just book smart or like a certain specific period of history. Yeah, just the language that's continually used. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the last episode. I'd love to get to the end of this mod and see where it goes, but you know, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I've tried, and yesterday I was so into playing more today and pushing this more, but you know what? Nope. I'm done after this. You lost me. Well, Alex, it's completely reasonable that the American people might push back on somebody who's just pushing through reform after reform after reform. Is it? I mean, to some extent, yes. But FDR did this. FDR did this, and people loved him. And he was reelected in a landslide. Yeah, he had enemies in the political apparatus of the United States. He had enemies amongst the financial elite of the United States, even an attempted coup against him in 1933, if you are to believe that the business plot was a thing. But he was able to do things because of things outside of the control of this game. If I were a strong progressive candidate, president even, I would pass things through executive actions, executive orders, and then I would stack the Senate, or the Supreme Court, to have people who would vote my way on things. This is a thing you see in Kaiserreich, is how things get passed by the CSA, by the by the syndicalist state of the United States in that mod. And that's very self-aware. That's very like, oh yeah, political apparatus work like that. You can do that. But there's nothing here that allows me to do any of that. I can't use executive orders to get things passed to get around Congress. I can't have past legislation overturned or taken back into consideration by the Supreme Court. None of that really exists. Did that even succeed? I just clicked through that, without even fucking looking. It did. Hunger bill passed. Great. It's work to solve poverty. I'm so over it at this point. And yeah, we're succeeding. And we're getting done what I wanted to get done. But just suffering through the election mechanics this many times. And this is only what you've seen on stream. I had a couple of games that I played through to like 1968, 1969 to get a feel for the game. Yeah, go play EU4. Yeah, where I can deal with some Monka language regarding indigenous peoples in the United States and some really troubling generalizations about the Central American cultures. And I just want a better world. Is that so much to ask? Just for sensitive games that are deft and intelligent and clever, made by accredited people who have, you know, careers in history, sociology, anthropology, rather than just wearaboo fanboys. Yeah, it's too much to ask. Okay, yep, you're right. You're right. I should just be happy with whatever garbage is offered to me and not want anything better and not criticize things and not try to imagine ways that things could be done differently and not make mods to try and twist those things to be done differently. Yep, I should just be happy, shut the fuck up, play the German Reich and talk about, haha, Germany's so great and oh man, I totally colonized the United States and culturally converted it all, and this isn't a subtext for genocide, and there's nothing weird or concerning about this, and Aztecs are just all bloodthirsty monsters. Ha ha ha, hoo hoo, I can sacrifice people for religious authority, isn't that cool? And we have the Flower Wars, and we can't centralize, and oh no, you know, Native Americans and indigenous people can't invent metal or different forms of government. Because Europeans did that, even though China did it, and Europeans didn't do it. But you know, China can't have all that stuff it actually had, because that'd be too powerful. That'd be unbalanced. Ah! Yep, I reached paradox burnout. Okay, all right, gonna have to pivot. Seriously, Paradox's xenophobia, xeno meaning China, phobia is real, is very real and pronounced. Like, it should tell you something when using your game mechanics, China just fucking dominates. That doesn't mean that you need to nerf China, it means you need to reconsider your game mechanics and analyze why the logic is playing out the way that it is. Why it is that China's so consistently powerful, so consistently strong, unless you take mitigating actions. Does that perhaps mean that your mechanics, your underlying mechanics are flawed, and that you need to reanalyze things? Armies cannot march across continents without significant material investment. Without an incredible logistical network. I mean, fuck, the French marching here lost half their fucking army, but in EU4 I can pick up an army here, march it all the way to China, and it'll be fine. Yeah, there are so many fucking Paradox fanboys who, and I'm sorry for blowing up on you, and I don't want you to feel personally attacked for making the claim of it's realistic, but it isn't realistic. None of these games are. They're all fantasies. They're all power fantasies. They are completely unrealistic. They're very even loosely simulations at this point. At one point, Paradox titles were roughly historical simulations in that they showed historical events, and you could participate in those historical events using ahistorical mechanics and ahistorical ambiguous or approximated representations of real things. But Paradox and their games have gone off hard in the direction of approximation to just sandbox games. These are sandbox games. They're not realistic. They're not simulations. They're not something you should play and walk away with feeling like, oh, it's realistic that Germany could win the Second World War, or a fascist coup in the United States is something that could have happened in this year or that year, or yada, yada, yada. And that even goes for my power fantasies, right? That socialist republics in the United States could pop up this easily, though, you know, workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. It actually is that easy. You know, it's a game. It's a fucking game. And a lot of the Paradox community has this kind of self-righteous, greater than thou, I'm so smart kind of attitude when it comes to these games, and they think that, oh yeah, I'm a history buff because I play EU4 and I play Hearts of Iron. No, you're fucking not. You're a history fanboy, but you're not a historian. And you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. When we're yeah. There are good, hard simulations out there. Hearts of Iron 3 tried so fucking hard to be a good simulation, and it did pretty okay, but it got such a backlash because turns out simulations aren't what Paradox fanboys have come to expect and want. What they want is be able to click on tank button, make... Is this the end of the game? This is the end of the game. 1974 is the end of the game. But there's no way I could have gotten the focus tree done in time. It just ends? It just ends, alright? All I want is a world without a fascist Jewish state and a Nazi USA. Dude, same! That'd be nice. And both of those things are possible. Well, we hit the end of the game. Wow, this goes out with a whimper. So, God, I wonder who this appeals to. I really do, because this might appeal to people who, like, really want to see the Cold War go hot, but the whole point of the Cold War is that it doesn't really go hot. It sort of just maintained the status quo. And we see in the mod nations like Italy, Germany, Japan, and even the United States struggling with new material conditions, making it hard. Wait, if the game ends in 1975, why the fuck are there texts that don't unlock until the 1990s? Something weird going on. Yeah, we might do Islanders. I did an Islanders earlier this week, didn't I? We're just getting through this, which is to say the American focus tree here, then I'm done. I'm done. We can walk away from the mod. I just want to see everything there is to see here. And you know what, can I... Alright, fuck me up, daddy-o. Speed 5, let's go. Observe, let's see what the fuck happens. And now I can just talk without doing things. Hearts of Iron as a series I liked a lot when I was younger. Hearts of Iron 2 is what I played a lot of. The ahistoric stuff was what I liked the most. The invasion, the alien invasion, that's a lot like Harry Turtledove's World War series. I absolutely loved that. My favorite after-action report from a Hearts of Iron series is, God, one of the first AARs I ever read. It was about the Kingdom of Jerusalem, starting in CK2, and then by EU4 having like a pretty decent sized colonial empire, and then they role-played really well. They let other states grow and drew up this whole fantasy about this these different powers, different languages. And when they got to Hearts of Iron 2, I think at that time, 2 or 3. What they had happen was it all end in a nuclear holocaust. And that's not something that could happen in game, and that was very touching. Most likely the tech tree is stolen from the IRL Cold War mod. You may have a point. I didn't even know there was a Cold War mod. Hoi for Cold War mod. Wow. You know, honestly, I might check that out. Yeah, it was updated on June 5th, not that lately. Going after the Namibia tree, huh? Yeah, you know, this is definitely reached its logical endpoint. It's an interesting mod, right? I want to end on a positive note. Mechanically, what they've achieved with the mechanics in the United States and in other states is mechanically impressive. It truly is. And if it weren't so obfuscated, it would be so much fun to play with. It would be so much fun to play with and try to grapple with and get a feel for. But this constant feeling that you're not in control is very difficult to enjoy in the context of a game like this. If this were its own game, right, I can imagine a TNO game that's obfuscated and approximated from top down, bottom up, being a lot of fun. You know, you ruling as president, and you not going down a focus tree, but having things you want to focus on, and it being really ambiguous if something is going to work or not, and you try to do what you think is best based off of just what you know, and it could go all sorts of different ways. There's something to that. That's a lot of fun. But the constraints of focus trees and the very linear progression that Hearts of Iron kind of forces them to adhere to, is quite limiting there. Is quite limiting. Which is why, yeah, this would be a great standalone project, I think. It'd be a very great standalone project. I don't want to say that this was not a waste of time. This was absolutely not a waste of time. I have a great deal of appreciation for what the mod authors have accomplished here. And I'm not just saying this to be nice. Seriously, this is great work. You need to, in my opinion, it would benefit you greatly to do another design sweep, to do a UX overhaul and a UI overhaul. You might want to consider the political power balance, because it feels very, very unbalanced right now. But that's about it. If your message is that real reform is kind of impossible in the United States because everything has to be compromised, and that the United States only runs and sustains itself based off of compromise, I can see that as a political message, as a consequence of your political ideology. Absolutely. This is if it were possible to include pops in this game, or include pops into the electoral system, that'd be amazing. If you could export this electoral system to Victoria 2 and incorporate the pop system there, I think that would be phenomenal. Phenomenally interesting. And as a matter of fact, I might poke around in your code and try to figure out where the fuck the election mechanics actually are, and see if I might be able to lift some of that up and change the way that Victoria 2's election mechanics work. That's a long-term goal, but, you know, you've inspired me with a lot of your work here. You've inspired me with, yeah, there's obviously a lot of love and a lot of time and a lot of passion and a lot of effort that's gone into this. Is made painfully clear by your fan fiction level paragraphs upon paragraphs for every fucking pop-up. But yeah, there's some QA. There's a lot of QA that needs to be done here. And there's a lot of UX that needs to be done here. And I think it would really benefit to have some serious conversations about game design consistency of form, consistency of messaging, consistency of tone. But, you know, this is a good mod. This is a great project. Would I recommend it to someone? No, absolutely not. I found this incredibly grating to play. And as an art piece, that makes it interesting, right? Just like bad movies are interesting, or uncomfortable cinematic experiences, or art that you look at and it makes you feel bad, or you're really uncomfortable, or insecure, or feel like you're doing something wrong just by being around it. That's good art. And if that's the intention here, this is good art. But I don't think they want it to be painful. I can't tell. I can't tell if they're intentionally making it a sadistic experience. If it is, good job. But I think it's probably not, and maybe you have different ideas of fun than I do. All the same, it's been an hour, so I'm gonna put in a cut here. I'm gonna stop on here. But, yeah, this was not a waste of time. I really wanted some, like, end point that we'd reach eventually, but it looks like we might not, like, ever hit that. You know, I just don't have the fucking time for this. So the series is going to YouTube. I'm not gonna just abandon this like the last one. I will post some YouTube content, I guess. It's gonna take a fucking long time to upload because of how long it is, so that'll wait until the end of the day. YouTube, until tomorrow, God help you if you've made it to the end of this series. Thanks. Let me know what you want me to play next, but I was thinking about Overworld Blues, I was thinking about Road to 56, taking a look at those since it's been like a year. I was thinking about Kaiserreich, seeing if they have had any updates to play with that. I know, I promised to look at EU4, and you know what? Maybe with Voltaire's Nightmare, we'll go shop around for EU4 mods, and then maybe hop over to that next, because Hoi 4 needs a bit of a break. But yeah, toodaloo, take care, see you then, bye-bye.